Page 7, Captain Hook's Rockin' Party. Now, I haven't covered anything in this book prior to this page, so I'll talk about it briefly here, and then we'll go on to Captain Hook and his party. On page 4, they have some rhythm and reading things. You can go through that on your own if you want. It's very important that you know the names of the notes in the music, and you know where those notes are on the keyboard. It needs to be automatic eventually. You just keep drilling yourself over and over until it becomes automatic. On page 5, they cover theory and symbols and terms. I don't do a lot of theory here. I find theory in itself somewhat boring. Some people really enjoy theory a lot, but I don't teach. I teach it in the music as we go through the actual music, and the same with the symbols. I don't like having to sit down and try and memorize a bunch of symbols. Ugh. So we cover these in the music too, but you're going to see them so often, you'll learn them. But you need to know what the symbol looks like, or what it's called, and what effect it has on the music. On page 6, they have a piece called Moonwalker, or what they call a family of C's. Not everybody calls it a family of C's, but Faber seems to. And it's just a bunch of C's. All right, if that's what they want to call it. I don't consider it all that important, but if you want to go through it, that's great. The first C they show at the bottom of the page there in Moonwalker, that's 2 octaves below middle C. So you have middle C here, and you go down 1, 2 octaves. That C, and then the next C in the music is an octave above that, and then you have middle C, and then an octave above that, and then 2 octaves up. So they're going 2 octaves above and below middle C, and that's Moonwalker. So much for that. Let's talk about Captain Hook and his party. This is in 4/4 time. I'm going to take the hands one at a time here. Starting with the right hand, at the beginning we have an E flat. Well, if I put third finger, now forget the flat for a minute, let's just go with E. If I put third finger on E, then that'll put my hand in this position. And that's close enough. Now once I got that, I can do the E flat, which is here. So it's eighth notes, 1 and 2 and, I know. 1 and 2 and, because there's rest for the rest of the measure. And then the next measure, same thing. Okay. Then the next measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You see the G is tied. The eighth note and the quarter note are tied together. You just hang on to it. So if I play that measure without the tie, I just play all the notes in the right hand, it's this way. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If I put the tie in, I just hang on to the eighth note. Instead of playing the quarter note, I'm hanging on to the eighth note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's as complicated as it gets right there. Go down to the third line. In the last measure, you have a D and a G together. And then the last line, you have a C and an F together. Well, that's the right hand. Left hand, you're starting out with this low, low C, 2 octaves below middle C down here. Quarter notes. Isn't this fun? Go to the next line. Second measure, it's an F. Okay, isn't that fun? And next line, back to the C until the last measure, you get a G. And the last line, F, C, and then a C, G together. 1 and, 1 and, 2 and. Put the hands together. 1 and. See, this left hand's going to be your drums. Let's go keep it going. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So you go through and work out the piece like that. I don't want to play it for you because I don't want you copying me. Keep in mind on these accidentals that applies from that point on for the rest of the measure. So the last measure in the first line there with that E flat, that other E is also flat there. It goes for the rest of the measure. Then we add the articulation. This is the accents and the staccatos and stuff. There's nothing given for the left hand. Feel it. You can separate these. We have to separate them a little bit. They're repeated notes. I play them almost like eighth notes. whatever. But in the right hand, we have an accent and a staccato. So it's a little extra on the E flat and the come up on the C. So it's there, accent on the G. So put in the accents and the staccatos. Dynamic wise, well, it's a party. Guess what the dynamic's going to be? It's basically loud throughout. The accents on those notes will make those kind of very loud. But it's really this right hand we want to hear, so don't get carried away with these low notes. It's easy to get loud down low on the piano. Keep them down a little bit. We want to hear the right hand. Quarter notes and the left hand are steady. Speed wise, it's a sort of fast piece, about where I was playing it, I think, about 2 beats per second or somewhere in there about. So forth. There's a repeat sign at the bottom and there's a note right above it saying when you repeat it, the right hand goes an octave higher. So the last measure you did here, the 3 beats rest, and the right hand you come up here for the repeat. So forth. I'd like to play it very slowly with you to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the dynamics. There's really no dynamics, it's basically loud. So I'll give us 4 counts. Let's just go real slow and double check everything. 1, 2, ready, go, and 1. 2 and 3. Repeat. Rest. 3.